What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Einstein Media Center, your one-stop shop for unnecessary media dissection. Um, my actual New Year's resolution was to post more on YouTube. So here I am. As you can see from the title, Great Grandpa, Seattle indie punkish band is back. They just announced a new album 2 days ago, I guess, from the time I'm recording this, and released a new single. New album is called Patience Moonbeam. The new single is called Junior. They have two singles that they already came out with, one called Doom, one called Kid. I think Kid was recorded like back 5 years ago or something like that, if I remember correctly. But it's going to be on this new album, it looks like. So I want to talk a little bit about Great Grandpa, their music, and just how excited I am for this new album. If you don't know Great Grandpa, they started out like kind of like a garage punk, slow indie band, something like that. And then that was on their first like EP and album, which came out, I think, 16 and 17 respectively. I found them in 2018, fall of 2018, off an audio tree session that they did. I found a lot of my favorite artists back then off audio tree sessions, and I really loved their audio tree session. The vocalist, great voice, has all these like fun little vocal inflections that they do where they do these pitch flips and whatnot. I think the band is really tight. All of them are proficient at playing their instruments and they write really emotionally impactful music. So Plastic Cough was that first album that they had kind of played during that audio tree session, and like 28 joints later, what is it, Teenage something, I can't even remember the name. It's been a while since I listened to that album, but it was a really good album. It's fun. It's not, I'm gonna say probably not the most sophisticated of music, but I felt like there was really a lot there back then. And like I said, everybody played their instruments well. The vocalist was great. Um, Clearly emotionally impactful music. And then I was really anticipating Four of Our Arrows, which came out in 2019. I was really excited for that album. I just found like a list I made the other day. Well, I made it 6 years ago now. I guess 5 years ago, almost six, but it was my favorite albums of 2019. I think Four of Arrows I probably had at my second favorite album, and I gotta be honest, it might have been really my favorite album because I still go back to it. It's one of the 2019 albums I like know off the top of my head that I go back to consistently. Um, they matured so much on that album. Like they still had definitely some punky garage rocky influences, but everything was kind of turned into this like very deliberate, sad singer songwriter indie album, and I just really loved it. I connected with it so much. I played the crap out of that album when it came out. Like I said, I still listen to that album all the time. I listened to it a few months ago and was just like, damn, this shit bangs. And then I think the last track on the album is a song that they had recorded on their first EP, and I don't know if it necessarily fits in with the album, but it's still fun. It's fun to revisit. I don't listen to that EP as much. I think it's called Can Opener. Um, but like it's a really great song that came from that EP era. And I really do like the band's early work, but Four of Arrows, like I gotta look at this track list. Dark Green Water is like an incredible opening track to the album. Digger is a great song. English Garden is good, but Mano no Aware, that was the lead single. Uh, Great little chorus, such fun little drum patterns in it too. I think that really stands out in that song. Bloom might be my favorite song on that album. Uh, it like almost gives me like a Joni Mitchell vibe to it, and I feel like that's just the vocal inflections. I don't know if the whole song really sounds Joni Mitchell esque, but like the vocal inflections really give me that Joni Mitchell vibe. Um, Treat Jar is a great song. It's a great album. It's a really good album, and if you haven't heard it, I really highly recommend it. And then after Four of Ours came out, they were pretty much silent for the last 5 years, and they talk about it on like an Instagram post, and basically like they had other things to do in their lives, and all that. So I'm really happy to see that they're back, coming out with a new album. One of the bands that I've been looking to since 2019, just like really anticipating a new album. So they released 3 new singles. First Kid, then Doom, and just this past week, Junior. So I want to talk about them a little bit. Overall, like high level thoughts on all of these singles. I think Junior is my favorite right now. If I had to rank them, Junior I would say is my favorite, then Kid, then Doom. I didn't really love Doom at first, but I just literally right before I turned on this camera, I listened to all three again. I think Doom is better than I was giving it credit for. Um, One thing I think they really honed very well on their last album, Four of Arrows, they were clearly worked on like the art of songwriting. It wasn't just like hooks and choruses, hooks, choruses, verses. Like they clearly wanted to have like interesting, sticky choruses, good verses, and like there were bridges that were nice, and there were definitely a few songs on the album that had like they could have be interpreted as like interludes, or they maybe weren't following that sonata allegro A B A C whatever format. But a lot of those songs, and I'm gonna say for better and not for worse, a lot of those songs on that album really followed like relatively strict songwriting structure, and I think it paid off a lot because like Mano no Aware and Bloom and Digger, like I come back to the whole album so often because like they're just such sticky sounding choruses. They're just such sticky sounding verses, and like the bridges are interesting, and it's like it they were just really well written songs. It's like 3-4 minutes, and like you're never bored of the song. You're always happy when the chorus comes back. You want to sing it with them. So I think that really was a huge positive on their last album, Four of Arrows. And I don't want to say I disliked any of these singles that came out. I think they were all good. And I also don't want to say that they threw that structured songwriting out the window, but I feel like these 3 singles were much looser in songwriting structure. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all. I mean, like, they're still clearly capable of writing really good hooks, really good verses. Like I said before, they're very, very competent in their instruments. They're very good songwriters. So, like, even if it's not following that very specific structure, the songs themselves are still interesting and well written. But I think because a lot of their songs do have like a bit of a punky way about them, I'm kind of like wanting a little bit of structure, wanting a little bit of this is a chorus I could come back to. I know it's going to come at the end of the song, and it's going to be a great like resolution moment after a bit of an odd bridge. So I would say that's probably my biggest problem with these 3 songs that came out. They're definitely less structured. They definitely seem to meander a little bit more, but it also results in some really cool moments because like the end of Junior, it's like an emotional build up to the end and like the last minute of the song and whatever, and I think it pays off in that instance. And I I do appreciate that they are clearly taking a different approach to songwriting on this album. At least that's what my perception is so far. And I always hate when artists do like their last album too. I might have been okay with the Four of Arrows too, but honestly, I'm so excited that they're even releasing new music. To me, almost 6 years. Oh my God, almost 6 years. It's 2025. That's crazy. I don't know. I'm super excited. I'm really I love this band. I really love this band. If you don't know Great Grandpa, go listen to all two of their albums. Watch the Audio Tree session. Don't listen to it. Go on YouTube and watch the Audio Tree session because I think the little, you know, uh, like 2 or 3 minute interviews they do between each song, it's insightful. It's fun. I love hearing them talk. Also, while you're on YouTube watching their Audio Tree session, they did do a Joni Mitchell cover. They did a cover of Big Yellow Taxi, I think, in a KEXP session. Go listen to that. I mean, first of all, it's Joni Mitchell. You know the song is great. You know Big Yellow Taxi is a great song. But they do a great job with it, and I love their rendition. It's fun. Again, those little vocal flips that you know in Big Yellow Taxi. The lead vocalist, they hit it awesome. And yeah, listen to Great Grandpa. Check out for this album. I think it comes out towards the end of March. Um, I'm gonna say right now this is like gotta be one of my most anticipated albums. I know I was like a little touch and go with those singles, but I think they're really good. I think I'm really hoping the rest of the album will live up to Four of Arrows. If not, I'm sure it's going to still be very good, even if it's different. Go go listen to Great Grandpa. They're great. I love them. I'm excited for this album. And hopefully I'll be posting more. I already have another video in mind. I think I will record it next week. I have the thumbnail made already. Yeah. So I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for stopping in.